Happy Information Wednesday. Cmcqueen here at the Cmcqueen Agency out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Sorry for the late video posting. It's been a crazy day. Had several life insurance appointments, which is great. I do encourage you, those who don't have life insurance, to make sure you get a policy in, because more than likely we're going to have a moratorium here shortly that is going to limit everybody from getting a new policy. So bear in mind that. Today I want to talk quickly on the safety glass waiver of deductible. Is it a gimmick or is it actually a wallet saver? So I want to first talk about what the safety glass waiver of deductible is. It's pretty self-explanatory, but basically, if you have that coverage on your policy, it waives you having to pay your comprehensive deductible. So what does this mean? Is this good or bad? Well, the reality is it depends on, of course, that if you have comprehensive coverage, that's a necessity. Number two, what your comprehensive coverage deductible is. And then thirdly, how much the safety glass waiver of deductible coverage is on your policy. So the safety glass waiver of deductible, pricing really depends on what kind of vehicle you have and what kind of windshield you have. If you have a higher end vehicle that's newer, most of the windshields these days have all these different bells and whistles, different colors, etc., sensors, things like that. If you have an older vehicle, you're not going to have all of those features, which makes it easier and less expensive for someone to replace the windshield. So I think on my policy, the safety glass waiver of deductible is about $74 every 6 months per vehicle. So we're paying about $300 a year, give or take, for both the vehicles to have this safety glass waiver of deductible coverage. Now turning the page to our comprehensive coverage, our deductible is only $100. So in theory, if I'm only replacing my windshield, say once a year, me having the safety glass waiver deductible is probably not worth its weight in gold for my policy, because I could just be paying out of pocket the $100 and calling it a day. Now, where this gets tricky is obviously if you're replacing a windshield all the time, every quarter or twice, 3 times a year, then it definitely makes sense to have this coverage on your policy. So it's really about weighing your options. Again, how often do you think you're replacing your windshield? What is that safety glass waiver deductible actually charging you as far as having that coverage? And what is your comprehensive deductible limit at? One thing I want to touch on quickly too is insurance fraud when it comes to windshield. So there's a lot of companies out there that make their money strictly on trying to coerce you into replacing your windshield if you have a little dent. This is very common at the car wash, for example. You have the salespeople right there when you pull up trying to make sure they can get your money. And what their claim to fame is, oh, we can replace this and fix this for nothing. Like, don't you worry about it. Hey, well, maybe we'll even give you some money back. Well, so how this becomes insurance fraud is a lot of these companies, maybe you can have your windshield repaired, but instead what they're doing is turning around and trying to have the insurance company pay for full replacement when that did not, in fact, even need to happen. And that's how the fraud comes in play. So buyer beware of these scams. Always call your insurance agent. I have your best interests at heart, so make sure you call me. I'm happy to process the claim. I can make sure it's easy and seamless as possible. Don't rely on someone at the car wash people or any outside company that's set up in a parking lot. Just definitely buyer beware. I'm not saying there's not respectable companies out there. There certainly are. We have partnerships at Farmers that we use for those reasons exactly. But again, use me as your resource. That's what I'm here for. That's what you pay me for. If you have any questions on safety glass waiver of deductible, be sure to reach out. You can email me at cmcqueen@farmersagent.com, or you can give me a call at 602-525-5665. As always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.